Hello everyone, welcome back to the workshop. I tried to get out a video this weekend, but it didn't end up happening. Just had a couple of issues and I was pretty busy over the weekend, so I didn't make a video. I wanted to make a video either on getting the slotting head running or milling out the track frames for the bulldozer. See, I have these two chunks of steel, they're the same length. Two of these that are going to get milled out. All of the features, like this bar up here and this locking mechanism here, those are all going to get ground off and milled off, and they get machined into track frames for the dozer. But I've been having a couple of issues with the K&T that I'm going to have to address. The motor situation is dire. That originally had a motor like that one. That's a very heavy 5 horsepower motor. I can barely lift it, and I can lift about 300 pounds. I can lift this guy up here and put it up on there by myself, but it's not very hard. So that motor mount is meant for a very heavy motor. With a very light motor on there, no matter what I've done over the years, it always vibrates very violently. And the pulley doesn't have a set screw on it. Or it has a set screw, but it's in the wrong place to be able to lock onto the shaft. Now, what I did to solve that, you might be able to see it, is I drilled and tapped the shaft on the motor for a bolt. I tried to bolt the two together, but the bolt keeps walking out. So now at this point, I'm frustrated with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another VFD like I have on the Reed Prentice and stick it on the K&T. The wiring for the K&T will be simpler. It'll be just same control wiring. It's going to be easier to do. So that's coming. The slotting head, I believe I've said this already, but it's been stripped of paint mostly. There's still some filler and there's still some paint up here. And I've started the machining to get this done, get it ready for action. I made a small pin here. This fits into the back. This section here is 1/2 inch. I'll just drill a 1/2 inch hole in the drive plate. I do need to modify the drive plate. The little guy over there. Oh. Sorry if that was a little weird. On my screen, that was not smooth at all. But yeah, that drive plate needs to get modified. It's way too thick. It needs to get shortened down significantly. So I'll have to chuck it up in the Reed Prentice and stick this guy in there. I might even use a little Chinese lathe because the Reed Prentice is going to be busy this week. I have a job for it. I need to drill out 100 inch and 7/16 holes for a job for a customer. They have plasma cut parts. They're a weird shape. I'll have to make a jig. I have the faceplate on here, 18 inch faceplate, to set up a jig to be able to hold them so I can accurately locate it. Now the tailstock, I'm going to have to address that as well and get that running true as well. At least true enough to be able to drill them. At the moment it's about 20 thou out, 20 thou too low. So what I think I'm going to do is just shim it up instead of using the Turkite. The Turkite was a good idea, but I talked to some people and I guess Turkite, when you put it under a tailstock, it can slip under heavier loads. Now, of course, I have 3 massive bolts, but they're coarse thread. Coarse threads don't give you as much clamping force as a fine thread. And I don't want to go through all that trouble just to have it, not be worth it. So what I'm going to do is just shim it up like you normally would. Put brass between the base plate and the tailstock itself. And Bob's your auntie. So that's going to be another fun little adventure. I am going to have coolant to run those parts because it's a very tight bore and they can't really be off much. I have to drill out all of them to 1 7/16, then I have to go in with a boring bar and bore them out. I think I'm going to either modify one of my square tool holders, one of these guys, to hold that boring bar, or I'll make an entirely new boring bar holder with the dovetail with the slotting head. It depends on how things play out. I might not. I might not have time. So that's what's been happening. I'm really glad I got this faceplate. I do wish I had a proper adapter, but the 18-inch Cushman chuck that's my universal adapter. It's steel back, so I can spin it up to max RPM, and it's fine. So that's all that's been happening in the shop. I also wanted to show you guys these parallels. These bolt-on parallels are keyed, drilled and tapped, a whole bunch of holes to hold stuff like this, specifically for large awkward pieces like this. Might be wondering why in the world I got parallels on this instead of just setting this on the table. Firstly, you can have your workpiece hang off more. It's easier to clamp because you can just put a bolt or a stud in here for your step block for the support in the rear. Clamp it down. And also, if you're milling on the end here, you can mill all the way down. You can mill the whole end of this piece. And yes, I broke a tap, tried to weld it to get it out, and the weld ended up fusing to the parallel itself, so that's something I'll have to take care of at a future date. But big reason why I like these is you can mill the ends of pieces and get really good grip. If you have a large piece and I'll have some tapped holes on the other side here, you could strap clamp it up and over and clamp on both sides, really hold down a workpiece, along with the fact that you can hold the parallel itself down with 3 T-nuts. You can get some pretty good holding force to do some pretty decent work. Plus, it leaves room underneath the workpiece for tools, because I don't have a workbench here. I just have this. I mean, I have my desk, but that's not really a workbench. I try to keep it clear enough that I can sit down at it and do whatever I need. So, and another thing I found out about the slotting head, it's a Navy slotting head. It came out of the Navy. Just like that, and also just like my K&T. So that's kind of neat that that also came out of the Navy. So, with all that being said, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.